Andy, how'd you feel, mate?
Yeah, great. Loved it. It was great being back out there. Obviously been a long time coming. Couldn't wipe the smile off my face leading up to the game and pretty much all the way through in the game. It was great to be out there. Unfortunate about the result, but really good to be out there.
And you did a few things that you were renowned for. I mean, you float in front of packs and take a few intercept marks. At what stage of the game did you feel like, okay, we're back?
Yeah, you bring your weapon and what you're good at every game, and I know during the game I got a few touches early. It always helps the confidence out, and just being out there again, your first contest, hitting bodies again, felt pretty comfortable all game, and that's kind of translated through pre-season. Being able to do a full pre-season has really helped that and kind of brought just a bit of that form into the game.
Did you doubt that game might ever come?
I didn't doubt my own ability to be able to play that game. The opportunity maybe, that was kind of last year, waiting all year and it didn't come, so I was doubting whether that opportunity might even come again, but never my own ability to be able to perform at that level. I always thought I'd be able to do that.
Did you feel that you kept up with the pace or after a few years out?
Yeah, definitely. It's a pre-season game, so it's still a bit below what the AFL season will bring, and I'm aware of that, and we all are playing that game. But being out there, thought got the gist of the pace pretty quickly, and felt really comfortable.
So round one, is that the next goal?
Oh, I think everyone on our list wants to play round one, and I'm no different. We've got 2 more games to be able to press our claim, and especially for the guys that didn't play a lot last year, that's our number one aim is to play round one and during the season. So everyone on our list wants to do that. So unfortunately, 45 doesn't go on to 22. So just got to keep performing.
And Andy, it's a bit of a different looking backline at the moment. Obviously, with a few guys out, Luke Brown, I think he might be coming back this week. Cole Cheney. Obviously, Jacob Lever's expected back next week. Does that cause a bit of disruption to the backline? Because obviously last year one of the things with the Crows was they were to sort of keep the same 6 bloke prop in there for most of the season.
Yeah, I wouldn't say disruption, because as a backline group we get to train all pre-season together, and you got to feel 2 sides of kind of that when you're training. So it's great to see Jake Kelly out there perform well on the weekend as well, and Lairdy was back there, and you might have seen Harrison Wigg roll back and Richie Douglas, which creates a bit of an opportunity for guys you probably wouldn't be able to see usually, which is great for them to get a taste, get to see the level, and and they were able to do pretty well, which is good for them and kind of surprises our fans as well, and they love to see young talent come in as well, and that's what you get to see during these pre-season games with a few injuries.
Well, so there's a few injuries in the midfield as well. That sort of might open the door for, say, Brody Smith or Rory Laird to spend more time in the midfield. How's that going to sort of affect the back line? Then if you're taking those guys out, because obviously Harrison Wigg might be one guy that might get more game time there. Yeah,
what injuries create is opportunity. It's great to see Curtly Hampton go in there in the weekend and do really well. So I'm sure he'll get another chance this weekend. You've got some guys coming back in. I'm sure Galucci, one of our first rounders, will be close to playing this week, as well as a Dean Gore and a Hugh Greenwood. So what it does give you guys the chance to see is some of these young guys come through that we get to see every day, and they've improved every day since they've been here, so that creates a great chance for them, and might see some Rory Laird in there just to mix it up and see if he can add something different to our midfield, it'll be good for them to see if they can play in the midfield.
And you're right on the weekend, but how do you get back into the back 6 for the season? Obviously guys like Hardy and Tarley and Lever have sort of held the key roles back there for a couple of years. How do you get into that team?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think just got to make sure my own personal form's up to the level to start with, and then keep checking off with the coaches of what they want from me, and if what I'm doing, say last year in the sample, what I was doing is what they were after, which is the feedback I was getting. So you can't get too down on yourself when you got an All-Australian fullback. Hardigan is probably the most improved player in the league, and a young gun like Lever, so it does test your patience and your resilience, but sometimes there's not much you can do other than just be patient and wait for that chance, and when it's there, grab it and go with it.
So you get concerned about that personally, or do you just keep improving your game and not hopes for injury, but if an injury opens up or someone's form declines, you're in?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You got to make sure you're ready when your time comes. I've seen it over the years. It's all about timing in football, making sure you have a good game on the weekend, stay in the sample, and then if something happens, your name's right up there if that chance comes. So you've got to be ready all the time. Keep training, at a high level and keep putting your name up, and hopefully that chance comes.
Most players have trained in more than one position over pre-season. Where have you trained apart from a key back now?
Sometimes sneak up forward. I've done that a couple of times over my career and don't mind that. And then Teague and Pikey always kind of mention don't worry, we know you can go forward if we need you as well. So it's kind of another thing I guess you see these days. You probably need to have that second position up your sleeve in case something does happen during a game.
Is there an art to playing, you said, like, to make sure you're ready to go each game? Is there an art to doing that without being sort of obsessed and consumed? Because, sometimes, like say, if you're not in the team, you feel like you get a bit anxious. And so how do you mix the balance between making sure you're ready to go and, not being sort of consumed by the need to play?
Yeah, I think off-field is a big part of that, and making sure I'm pretty relaxed off the field, and what I'm doing outside of footy really allows me to take my mind off just the AFL scene and training. So, I do a bit of coaching at Henley High, studying at university as well, and I'm spending a fair bit of time down the beach with the two dogs. So, I've got my outlets, which is very important for any player to have, and that does take your mind off, what you can get consumed with. But being in the league a while now, I know I've done that before, and it does cause headaches, so I've made sure I've kind of stayed clear of that.
What are you studying?
Doing exercise and sports science at Charles Darwin, so it's keeping me busy.
What sort of dogs have you got?
Two Visslers, you've seen them a couple of times, I think. Hungarian Visslers. They're good fun, the hounds.
Oh no, you mentioned on another time that Hugh Greenwood might be getting a run this week, and not many Crows fans obviously would have seen a lot of him. You played obviously a bit with him in the Sandford last season. What can you sort of tell us about Hugh and his style of game?
He's super composed. He's got great touch around the football, and he's a big, strong-bodied midfielder that plays forward as well. And I'd love to see him get a game. He's deserved it. He's come across from an elite basketball background, obviously in the States, and he's really eager to learn and eager to play a nice left foot kick as well. So it'd be great to see his blonde locks out there.
And how much of a concern, obviously Cam Ellis-Sheldon's gone down for the year, how much of a concern of the early season injuries that Adelaide has?
You can't control injuries, and as soon as you start playing, it's something you have no control over. But we do have a few injuries, but most of these guys besides Cam now should be right or will be really pushing for round one, and that's probably our ultimate goal, is build towards round one. So you're not going to risk guys in the pre-season games, and we're all building as a football club to round one. But like I said before, injuries creates opportunities for some other guys that the club and everyone can see.
You must feel for Cam, you've been there before with Cam Ellis-Sheldon.
Yeah.
And he's had a great pre-season when overseas, did a fitness camp. You must feel for him.
Oh, absolutely. It's pretty heartbreaking, going through it twice, and this is his second one as well. Your gut really falls, and we're on camp when we found out up in Port Augusta, so I know a lot of the boys rung him straight away. And just to see how he's going, I saw him this morning as well, and his spirits are high. I think he's a few social media posts, and I just spoke to him about that's happened. You can't control what's happened to your body. It's what happens now. Looking forward, you got to stay positive. You can't change the past, and you got to really give yourself a few things to look forward to this year, and then getting back next year.
He was someone that was maybe seen as a replacement for a Scotty Thompson, who was probably going to get a bit more limited game time as a bigger body midfielder. But can you nominate others that could maybe take on the role in his place? Yeah,
I've mentioned a fair few of the younger guys so far. Huey Greenwood will get a chance, Harrison Wiggle roll through there, and we might see Rory Laird pop up and get some midfield minutes. So, we'll adapt, we'll improvise as you do as you go forward, and someone will pop up, I'm sure.
Last year, having a bunch of fit, all your fit players, really, it was the key to, as AC touched on with your back line, it was the key to their strength. Do you feel like the challenge has come a bit earlier now? No Tomo, no Crouch, no Sloan potentially for round one. I mean, we get a real glimpse of how you're going to handle not having a charmed run with injuries.
Yeah, definitely. Last year we were probably touch wood, had a really good run, and this year our midfield's going to step up. Campo's going to come up with some new names and some new things to do in there. So I guess it's up to the players that get picked now to show that they're worth it, and then they can be relied upon. And if their name gets caught up during their real season, they're ready to go with that confidence that they've done it before in the pre-season and in pre-season games.